It began with a rumor, a strange, almost childish story whispered by travelers who passed through the old northern highway. They said that somewhere deep in the woods, beyond places that appeared on maps, there was a town that existed only at night, a town with warm lights, tidy houses, friendly people, and absolutely no trace of it when the sun came up. Hale, a 27-year-old freelance journalist with a tendency to chase stories no one else believed in, heard this rumor in a dusty roadside diner. The cook told it casually, as if speaking about the weather. "Don't go looking for that place, kid," the man added. "Some that find it don't come back the same. Some don't come back at all." Naturally, Ethan went looking for it. Chapter 1. The road that wasn't there. He drove north until the asphalt thinned, cracked, and finally crumbled into gravel. The forest grew thicker, swallowing the road in a tunnel of pine needles and shadows. His GPS stopped working an hour earlier. The radio flickered between static and an old jazz tune that shouldn't have been playing on any local station. Just when Ethan thought he'd taken the wrong path, he noticed a wooden sign. "Welcome to Graybridge, population 614. The sign looked freshly painted, but the road it guarded was nearly overgrown. He checked the time. 8:57 p.m. Night was settling quickly. "Perfect," he muttered and drove in. 10 minutes later, the trees opened, revealing a small but lively town. Street lamps glowed a soft amber. Shops were open, people laughed on porches, and warm lights flickered behind curtains. It looked peaceful, almost too peaceful. Ethan parked his car and grabbed his camera. Chapter 2. A town frozen in time. As he walked down Main Street, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Everyone he passed smiled politely, but their smiles were all the same kind. Warm, polite, identical. The clothes they wore were outdated, as if pulled from a 1960s catalog. A little girl selling flowers stood barefoot on the sidewalk, her dress spotless despite the dirt around her. "Are you new?" she asked cheerfully. "Just visiting," Ethan replied. "Beautiful town you've got. We try to keep it that way." She handed him a white daisy. "For luck. You might need it." Before he could ask what that meant, she skipped away. Ethan spent hours taking photos, interviewing anyone willing to talk. The townsfolk answered politely, but always vaguely. "Graybridge has been here a very long time. We don't get many visitors after dark. We're happiest when people stay." That last one bothered him. By midnight, he'd gathered enough odd details to write at least 3 articles. But one question lingered. What happens here at dawn? Chapter 3. Do not stay past sunrise. Near the edge of town stood a diner, its neon sign flickering softly. Ethan stepped inside. A waitress greeted him with a tired smile. "You look hungry and tired. Coffee?" "That'd be great," he said. "Busy night, huh?" She poured him a cup, hesitated, then leaned closer. "You're not planning to stay, are you?" "Why?" "People keep hinting at something." Her voice shook. "You need to leave before sunrise. Promise me you will." "Tell me why." She swallowed. "Because this place isn't supposed to be here." Before she could explain more, the door chimed and an older man entered, giving her a stern look. She instantly straightened and stepped back. "Enjoy your coffee," she whispered, her eyes full of fear. Ethan left the diner unsettled. Something was very wrong. Everyone knew it, but no one dared say it. Chapter 4. The first crack in the illusion. Around 2 a.m., fog rolled into the town like a living creature, curling around houses and swallowing the edges of the streets. The laughter, chatter, and footsteps faded. A soft humming filled the air. Low, vibrating, unnatural. Lights flickered. The ground trembled. Ethan raised his camera, but the lens fogged instantly. He wiped it, only for the glass to frost over again. When the fog thinned, the streets looked different. Buildings were warped, almost melting at the edges. Windows were crooked. The perfect lawns were dead and colorless. A man stood in the middle of the street, his face pale, expression vacant. "Are you all right?" Ethan asked. The man smiled, that same polite smile. Only this time, it cracked unnaturally wide. We're happiest when people stay. His voice layered on itself, as if several versions of him spoke at once. Ethan stumbled back. That's when the church bells rang, except there was no church in sight. Chapter 5. The Heart of Greybridge. Ethan ran until he reached the town square. A tall gazebo stood in the center, and beneath it, a glowing well. The light it emitted was pale blue, pulsing like a heartbeat. People gathered around it silently, their smiles gone, their eyes hollow. The little flower girl stood among them, clutching a wilted daisy. "Why are you here?" Ethan,